Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Vertex Investing. Tans here. Now, firstly I just want to say, as always, how much we appreciate everyone that subscribed and liked our videos, as well as following us on Telegram, our Instagram, and so on. So yeah, just a moment of appreciation for you guys. I know it's been a while. I've not been very well over the last few days, but I'm back, and in this video we're going to talk about emotions. Before I go on, those of you who follow our Telegram will see that I made a little post saying that in some of our videos we'll be giving away 50% discount codes somewhere in the video. I will point it out though, and it'll just be one for one person. So whoever finds it and uses it, then so on. But yeah, we'll be doing that once or twice a month. Just a way to give back to the community, and obviously from our YouTube channel, I'm trying to give away as much content as I can without giving away obviously too much, because that's what our mentorship is for. But I want to give you guys what I didn't have easily accessible, which is the main reason why I started this channel and why I'm sharing as much as I am. So in this video we're going to talk about emotion. Now, emotions is something that's not overly spoke about. However, I could be addressing things here today that, might just be your very issue, because trading is very simple. As in, for example, you could buy here, sell here. It's very simple to follow that rule-based method in that sense. However, if you can't manage your emotions, then your psychology is probably 90% of your trading. I mean, the actual trading is minimal. It's not really like the whole thing. If you can't manage your emotions, then you can't expect to progress as a trader. So let's talk about some of the emotions and some of the errors that that we can make. And this is going to be based on some of the things that I've done in the past, based on some of the things that I've seen students do, and hopefully we can address as much of them as we can. So let's address the emotions to start off with. So the main one being fear. So we can leave that there. How do I do another box? Do I have to click it separately? I assume so. As you can tell, I'm not an expert at this. Greed. That's one. Let's do another one. Oh. What's next? Hope. Let's put that on there. Surely there has to be a quicker way to do this. Let's just say lack of focus being one. I think they'll count as the main categories, but we'll speak about each one individually. So let me put these to the side. There we go. Okay, so let's start off with fear. So have you bear with me. Right, so in terms of fear, what I'm trying to address here is, have you taken a setup, even though it meets your criteria, even though a trade setup meets your criteria, but you didn't take it, right? The only reason that you didn't take it is because you're scared. And the reason why you're scared is because you haven't developed that trust in the system. So I'll write this here. So not taking a trade that meets criteria, right? And why does this happen? So, oh gosh, that's why. I think, there we go. Right, there we go, that's better. And I can make this smaller. There we go. Okay, so if you're not taking the trade because even though it meets your criteria, it's because how have I done that? How have I made it bigger? I have no idea. But if you're not taking the trade because you're scared, the main reason is you haven't developed the trust in the system. And I think it'll be easier for me just to type it, just to write it like this. Okay, you haven't developed that trust. And how to develop that trust? You basically have to backtest, forward test your strategy as much as possible, to the point where you get to a point where you can take a trade without being scared of whether it loses or wins. Because if you're scared that a trade loses, you just don't have that confidence. Confidence is another one, actually. I should have done this from the start, to be fair. There we go. Confidence. Okay, so that's one of the issues. Now, have you ever taken a trade but you close out too early? So let's go close early. Okay, have you ever done that? The reason why you're doing that, again, it leads to trust, and you're scared. Okay, you're scared of the setup, and the reason why you're scared is because you don't have any trust. Okay, again, it leads back to trust. And when you're closing a trade early, you have to ask yourself, why are you closing a trade early? For example, if we go to a chart, right, and say you're in a buy, let me move this to the side. Okay, say you're in a buy, as mentioned before, is when you break structure, for example. Some people like to close a trade here. However, remember, it's not a confirmation that change in trend. This can just be a liquidity grab and price can continue. Okay, if you're closing a trade based on that first break of structure, you don't trust the system. You need to understand your rules. You need to have a set of rules of why you're going to close the trade, why you're going to enter the trade. You have to follow your rules, and if your rules are met, why should you not follow them? So if that's the case, if you're breaking your rules, you don't have the trust. Okay, trust is everything. If you don't trust your process, then you won't be able to progress. Okay, so closing too early. Now, how to solve this? Okay, simply put, is a very easy thing, because I used to do this. I used to close out really early. Don't check the profit or loss once entered. Okay, this is very easily done. Essentially, just follow the trade on on TradingView. Don't look at your MT4, MT5, or CTrader, whatever you use. Don't look at that, because those numbers will make you close a trade early, or you're going to be scared when it goes into a little bit of drawdown and so on. So your best bet is by following. Where's my pen again? I think it's this one. Oh, is it this one? Okay. I'm going to write TV for TradingView. Okay. Use that to monitor your trade. Now, another thing is, have you ever been in a trade and then you make your stop loss wider? Why did you do that? Again, it leads back to this. You haven't developed the trust. You haven't trusted the system. Okay. And you've got a fear. Okay. You should be trading with no fear. Okay. If you're scared, you are really not going to progress, and I can assure you of that, because I was having a break even year because I was closing trades way too early, purely because I was scared and I didn't trust the system. Okay, so build that trust before you go live. Build that trust before you do FTMO or any other prop firm. Depending on what you do, you have to build the trust. If you're scared of a trade, you're not ready yet. You're not ready to go for a prop firm. You're probably not ready to go live. However, practicing on a small live account is probably the best way to do it, rather than going on a demo and forward testing. For example, if you've done your back testing, forward testing on a small live account is probably your best bet. It's probably the best way to go about that. But yeah, if you're widening your stop loss because you're getting scared, or you're closing your trade in a little bit of drawdown, even though it goes in your favor, is because you don't have the trust. Now, another thing that you could do is lack of focus. Now, remember what I say is always trade when you are at your best. So in terms of your journaling, write these down. Write these down in your journal, and write down, how you react to certain situations. Okay, if for example, you're pressing a buy instead of a sell, okay, you lack the focus. Okay, if for example you mark out the wrong order block, you're lacking in focus. Okay, you have to be at your 100% to trade, right? For example, as I mentioned, I'm sorry to keep going on about it, but as I mentioned, over the last few weeks, I've not been too well. I've not actually been trading too much. I've been trading very little. Because of that, I'm not going to risk my capital that I've worked so hard for because of my lack of focus. My focus just won't be there, right? Like, I'm happy to look at a chart, and that's what I've been doing, is just been observing moves, but I've not actually been taking any trades apart from the ones that I have full confidence in and full trust in the setup. Okay, but because of my lack of focus, I know that I shouldn't be trading too much. So that's something that I've developed over the years to understand, when I'm performing at my best and when I'm not, right? So make sure you are only trading when you have that full focus. Okay, if you're making stupid mistakes, you're not focused enough. If you're putting the wrong stop loss in, you're not focused enough to trade. Okay, and whenever you do that, write down why you've done it. Write down the day, write down what's happened on that day, write down if you're in a bad mood or whatever it is. Write down what caused that lack of focus, because it won't happen again, because you've written that down and you know what caused that lack of focus. So just bear that in mind. Now, greed is something that a lot of traders face, especially me. When I first started, what I wanted to do is flip a small account. It's because this is what I see on YouTube. Was some people making from £100 to 10,000 and so on. I wanted to do the same. It didn't work out. I'm not very good at that. It's possible, by using high risk, but it's stupid really. It's not the right way to do it. But in terms of greed, if you're risking too much, okay, you should ask yourself why. Okay, if for example, I generally use 2%. I use 1% at the start of the year, then you go back to using 2% again. Because I'm using 2% doesn't mean you have to use 2% risk. If you're not happy to, use a percentage that you're comfortable with. Even if it was 0.5, 0.25, whatever it is, use what you're comfortable with. Don't follow anyone else. Okay, don't be greedy. So another thing that I want to mention in terms of greed is, say for example, you're in a trade, right, and your target is 1 to 10. However, say it's 1 to 20, for example. Say the trade is running at 1 to 10, but you don't want to close partials because you want to have your full position, and then price takes you out of break even. Then you get all annoyed, and then you start revenge trading and so on. The question is, why didn't you close the trade at 5R? Why didn't you close at 5%? Because you're being greedy. Okay, you're not accepting the fact that 5%, 5R is good. You're not accepting that. Don't get too greedy with your profits. Okay, and again, to minimize this, what you're doing, use TradingView. Don't check the profit and loss once you've entered. Use TradingView to help not focus on the numbers. Okay, remember, we want to focus on percentages, and we want to follow our rules. For example, if you're in a trade again, okay, and you got your structure point, this is your BE point. This is the only point you're going to be taking out of break even. So you have a trade that goes, you say you entered here, right? It comes back, and then it goes, and then it comes back, and then it goes. Okay, when price is pulling back at these points, right, you're going to be scared. You're going to want to close your trade at too early, but you've got no reason to close. This is just liquidity grab, because it hasn't broken structure again. It hasn't broke this low again. So do you need to close? No, it's not changing trend. So you should hold for your points. Okay, follow your rules. If you have set rules, follow them. If you're consistent with it, consistent rules, consistent results. Okay, so follow on TradingView rather than looking at the money. Okay, that's another way. That's a way to reduce the effects of greed. Okay, now, have you ever, for example, you've seen a setup and you entered too early? Why are you doing that? It's because, again, it's greed and you're hoping. Okay, hope is something that can really ruin your trading plan. If you're trading, for example, say you set an order. Say for example, let's go somewhere here. Okay, say for example you had a break structure and you got this. Okay, say you set an order here. Okay, and then in your head you're thinking, you're hoping for price to come and tap you here. Okay, you didn't enter that with confidence. Again, what this leads to is you don't have trust in the system. You're trading with fear, and you're trading with the hope that the trade goes right. The problem is when that trade if that trade stops out, I'm not going to say when, sorry. If that trade stops out, you're going to lose all hope in trading. Okay, you don't want to be trading with hope. You want to be trading with full confidence. This and trust is what you need to develop in order to be a successful trader. In order to follow your rules, okay, you need to have these two things. Okay, this is why I trade using rules, because if I have set rules and consistent rules, it leads to consistent results. Okay, and it leads to trading with confidence because I don't do anything unless my rules are met, which also allows me to trade without fear. I don't really get affected by greed anyway, but it prevents that. I'm also very focused purely because of trading with rules. It's very easy to focus on the rules. We only have 2 rules. If you have those 2 rules, it's very easy to take the trade based on that. Okay, obviously there's a lot more to it, but based on those 2 rules for entry, I'm only going to focus on that, and it's very easy to focus on that. I don't have to look at so many other things to take the trade. So it's very easy for me to focus. Okay, and trading with hope is something that, if you're following rules, you won't have this issue. If you're trading with hope, okay, you're scared. Okay, if you're scared, you got no trust. If you got no trust, you've got no confidence. Okay, if you got no confidence, it makes you a bad, I'll say it here, a bad trader. Okay, that's very bad writing. Bear in mind, I'm using a mouse. Okay, not even a pen. So that's why the handwriting is really bad. It's not normally this bad. But this is the main thing that I want you to focus on. In terms of when you going forward, in terms of your journaling, find out what causes you to trade with fear, what causes you, what characteristics you have in terms of greed, what makes you lose focus, and if you are trading with hope or not. So ask yourself, are you trading with hope? Okay, when you take a setup, are you scared that trade is going to stop out? If you're going to say, I bet this trade is going to lose, or I bet this trade is going to hit stop loss, if you're saying that, don't take the trade because you're not ready. Okay, and I'm quite blunt at times, especially when I speak to students as well. I'm very blunt. I'll tell you to the point, you're not ready. If you're trading with fear, okay, or if you're being greedy, or you don't have full focus, or you're trading with hope, with the hope the trade's going to win, you're not ready to trade yet. You're not ready to go live. However, it's all part of the process. Okay, bear in mind, all traders have been in this situation. I've experienced all of these, and I wouldn't say I've fully overcome it, because there's some trades, yes, I do feel a little bit scared about, but I'm not scared of losing. That is a bit weird, but I'm not scared of losing. But the reason why I've developed this fearless way of trading is because of the rule-based approach. It's allowed me to trade with full confidence because I'm only following 2 rules. That's the only thing I'm following. So what I'm trying to say is adopt a rule-based approach to help eliminate these emotional errors that you could be making. And these are very small mistakes, but they can lead to big things. For example, if you're trading with fear in every single trade, right, you're going to be closing trades too early. All right, you're going to start getting greedy. Okay, and what's going to happen is your account balance is going to go from, let's say, 1,000, it's going to go to 0. Okay, slowly, because you're not making any good profit because you're closing too early. Okay, you're trading with fear. Then you're going to start revenge trading and start hitting stop losses, right? You're going to lose the focus, and then you're going to lose the hope. Not even hope, but you're going to lose hope in the fact that you're going to lose hope in trading. Okay, which is also going to reduce your confidence. Okay, what I'm trying to highlight is there's so much more to trading than just punching buttons in to your platform, whether it's MT4, MT5, or C Trader. What I'm trying to say is psychology is such a big thing. So in your journaling, think about all these factors and ask yourself, do you trust the process enough to go for a prop firm? Because what I've seen is that some people are using our free content and going for FTMO, for example, and then when you fail, I appreciate that you tell me, and I ask you, some of you who I've spoken to, I ask you one simple thing: were you actually ready? And most of the time you're not. You can convince yourself you are, but most of the time you're probably not, because if you're, for example, if you're sending me trades that you want me to confirm for you, you're not ready. You're not ready to go for these prop firm, because it's not easy. FTMO, for example, and I'll use FTMO because it's the one that I use. FTMO is not easy as it seems, as easy as the rules are. It's not easy. It's another level of stress. Okay, that their requirements does induce a lot of stress, and this is something that's often overlooked. It's not easy at all, but if you don't have the trust, you're not ready. Why should you waste that 500, 600 pounds, whatever it is, for the challenge? Why should you waste that when you're not fully ready. So what I suggest doing is journaling your trades, adding a psychology section to your journal, and then write down how you react to certain things. Write down how you react at like a stop loss, for example. If you lose, write down how you're feeling that day. If it was due to a lack of focus, try work out why were you lacking focus. What caused that. If you're closing trades too early, why are you doing that? The simple solution is here. Okay, don't look at your profit and loss. Follow on TradingView. So what I want you to take from this video is I want you to go away and add psychology to your journal, and then note down how you react at certain situations, whether it's good trade or bad trade. Write down how you react and focus on the emotional side of things, because the emotion could be that very thing that is stopping you from progressing. Because it's very easy to learn the rules of how to trade. It's very easy to follow a strategy. However, if your psychology isn't there, you will not progress as a trader. And as this is the first video, the discount code for 50% off, let's just say is going to be emotion, capital E. Actually, you know what? I'm going to type this out because I know I'm going to do something stupid here when I type it in. The discount code for 50% on this video is going to be. It's going to be that. It's going to be just the word emotion. Okay, let me take this off because it confused people last time. Okay, that's the discount code for 50% off. How do I move this? Oh, there we go. There we go. So that's the discount code. Remember, there's only one person, and this is going to be the first of this month. We might do another one, we might not. But pay attention to our videos because we will just throw them in there. There's going to be no warning. But I thought as it's the first one, I might just add that in. I didn't plan to do it, and in fact, I haven't even made the discount code. So I'll need to get onto that. But for now, I hope that this video has helped. I know it's not a normal trade breakdown like we normally do. However, bear in mind, it's not just trading. It's not just actual trading. That is trading. There's a lot more to it. And psychology is something that is not spoken about. And I hope to bring a bit more light into it. But for now, I'll leave you guys be. And I hope that you all stay safe. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll see you guys in the next video.